First thing tomorrow morning. It's finally here. There's got to be something, or is there something that concerns you about this? Is there any worry you have as you go down this path, Minister?
Well, I think after 100 years, we're finally getting it done. So this is I'm just very optimistic. I'm very pleased that we've been able to do this. It's taken a lot of effort to get to this point, but over 4,200 convenience stores have applied for licenses. We've had over almost 200 new grocery stores on top of the 450. So we're marching forward, and I'm just very excited for tomorrow.
It's going to be offer the alcohol from 7 a.m. until 11 p.m. Can you tell me why 7 a.m.? I can't currently go into an LCBO or beer store at 7 a.m. I can't go into my local bar to buy booze at 7 a.m. Why will I be able to do that at convenience stores?
Well, a thousand different reasons. You might be on your way to work and you have a few minutes to pick up some groceries, a bottle of wine, whatever. It's about convenience, it's about choice, and people are very busy. And so instead of having to do two stops, now you'll be able to do one stop. We were trying to put money in people's pockets. Things cost a lot more. We've cut the gas tax, so we're just working on things that make life a little bit easier for people.
What about enforcement? I mean, we've already seen this one case where a convenience store was selling it early when they weren't supposed to. As you say, 4,200 stores, and there'll be more, I'm sure. How do you police this, Minister? How do you enforce the rules here?
Well, look, first of all, I have a lot of faith in the small business owners. This is great for local jobs and small businesses in our communities, and they've been good actors. They sell lottery tickets and tobacco already, and they're just going to add to their product suite. Compliance is a legal obligation. We've increased the amount of people enforcing it through our Alcohol and Gaming Ontario Association. So, we're going to make sure that if there are any bad actors, compliance is a legal obligation.
But I mean, when it comes to cigarettes, it's the city, I believe, that enforces all those rules with convenience stores. Will it be the province enforcing it here with alcohol?
Absolutely, 100%. And we'll work with community partners, but our enforcement team, as I said, we've increased the number of resources to do this. And think about it from the small business owner. If they like the license that was suspended in Etobicoke, if you're a bad actor, you could potentially lose your license. That's your livelihood you're putting on the line.
Right, good point. When it comes to cannabis, your government prevents the sale of it within 150 meters of schools, yet many of these 4,200 convenience stores are located close to schools. Why is cannabis not okay next to schools, but alcohol a-okay?
Look, these small businesses, convenience stores have been around for a long time. They responsibly sell lottery tickets, tobacco. They're just adding to the suite. We have very high standards, and we're treating small businesses and Ontarians like adults. And the penalties are there if you don't follow the compliance and the law.
So will you amend the rules to allow
No,
private cannabis operators to start
no,
operating closer to schools?
no, no. We're moving forward on what we said we were going to do, which was bring choice and convenience to multiple points of sale in Ontario, like in Quebec, where I'm from, and like where many parts of the world that you could have this convenience and choice. So we're just following through on a commitment we made to the people.
Right. I mean, cannabis is a less dangerous drug statistically than alcohol, right?
I'm not going to get into debate about which is this, that, or the other thing. What I'm going to do is make sure that we move forward on this commitment, that we take social responsibility, whether it's cannabis or alcohol or lottery tickets, very seriously. And the enforcement rules are there. We've increased the enforcement, and we're going to continue to support all the organizations. So we keep public awareness very high on
Minister,
this.
your government did indeed run on this. Absolutely, you're following through on a campaign commitment, but you didn't run on this giving up to 225 million to the beer store. And certainly, if you talk to people about this, this is a big issue that I've certainly heard from people. Why is our taxpayer dollars going to the beer store to perhaps hasten this? I mean, what would you say to that? Why do we need to spend all that money to do this?
Well, we made that commitment, as you said. We made that commitment in 2018, and COVID was part of our first mandate. So, we made this commitment again in 2022. So we were just unwinding a 10-year monopoly that the previous government had. We've had almost 100 years of this system. There's always going to be costs. Now, I will say with the beer store, we're protecting jobs, and every nickel, it's up to, we're going to make sure that it's accounted for. But our revenues are going to go up in the LCBO. We're creating more good jobs locally, and we're giving people convenience of choice. So I think it's a win-win-win all around.
Well, let me end on that question. Last time we spoke, I said, how is this going to impact LCBO revenues? And you said, I don't know. We'll find out. Do you have a better idea now? Is this going to cost the LCBO money, Minister?
Look, what I did say as well is that I'm very optimistic that the LCBO will do very well. They're going to be the wholesaler for the whole province. They're going to be the ones who sell the spirits. They've got the Ontario-made products. I said for small producers, I want the LCBO to profile those in their stores, respecting trade obligations. And so I'm very optimistic about the LCBO's prospect. I'm optimistic about creating jobs, because the convenience stores have told us that this will be a job creator for them. And I'm very excited to be able to get this done. And I think that's what the people of Ontario want. We ran on this. I did my budget in 2022, and we're getting, whether it's infrastructure, building economy, retraining, reskilling people, building like you've never seen before, hospitals, roads, subways, and all this. So that's what I think good government is, and I think that's what the people want from us.
And finally, the 7-Eleven planning to offer alcohol for people to drink in the store. I asked you about that briefly, but I want to ask you lastly again. Does that worry you that you can go into what amounts to a gas station in some cases, sit down and drink booze, Minister?
Well, I just reiterate, compliance is a legal obligation, and I think whether it's the 7-Elevens, convenience stores, grocery stores, liquor convenience outlets, LCBOs, they all have to adhere to the same standards. Restaurants and bars, they all have to adhere to the same standards. My message is bad actors, watch out, but the vast majority are good actors, and that's who we're supporting. And this is what the people of Ontario want.